You'll fuck the clay season. I'm tired of Casper Root making slam finals.
Welcome back to the channel. We have the 2024 Clay Preview by Cam Williams. We are all Cam Williams collectively here to talk about the clay season, starting with Monte Carlo, the tournament that a lot of people don't give a fuck about because it's not mandatory. Nadal,
I do.
Yo, you care about it?
No one gives a fuck about me!
I do.
Oh,
Yeah, I care about it because tennis players get to live here and not pay tax.
Very true. So they also have an advantage because they probably played on those same courts all the time.
Do you know who hasn't won here?
Who?
Take a guess.
Cameron Norrie?
Andy Murray,
Correct. Also, Dan Evans hasn't won it.
Oh,
even though
yeah.
he beat Novak a couple years ago.
He's too busy snorting the clay. We all know Nadal is a fucking beast at this tournament, winning 11 times, and then winning it 8 times in a row from 2005 to 2012, then lost the next year in the finals to Djokovic, which fucking ended his run.
Go back and watch it when fucking Novak gets that match point and he fucking screams out for about half an hour and shakes his hand at the net. Fucking goosebumps.
And then, since it's non-mandatory, they count it actually as one of the players, like a 500 level tournament. But even though they count it as a player's 500 tournament, they still give them 1,000 points for winning. Last year, randomly won by Andrei Rublev, beating Holger Rune in the final. Some big names last year who didn't play were Alcaraz, Nadal, Felix, Auger-Aliassime, Tiafoe, Paul. But I think Paul was something happened where the Houston Open had a big rain delay, and then he was like stuck there, and he wanted to play Monte Carlo, but he couldn't even make it.
Let me challenge you there for a second. Sorry to interject, but I think I'm a bit bigger of a name than FAA, Tiafoe, and Paul, to be honest. Like, what qualifies as a big name here?
I guess being in the
American,
yeah.
being North American.
I guess the average American is a big person, so
Yeah. Well, also, you're Andy Murray, so you are a big name.
I'm not that fucking fat. I may be balding, but I'm not fat.
Nadal, he pulled out. He's not playing this year, which we kind of expected because that dude's fucking dead now.
No offense to pregnant women.
It's the Sunshine Double Hangover Tournament. Therefore, top players often phone it in.
Shout out to Ben Shelton.
Yeah.
And of course, Stan Wawrinka, the historically dominant age of consent respecter, won his only big title outside of the Grand Slams here, beating Roger Federer in the final.
Yeah, it's weird to see a guy winning that's Swiss and it's not Federer.
Yeah, like that guy who beat Stefanos at the US Open. What was his name? Like Stricker or something.
Oh yeah, he's like an upcoming player.
At least he doesn't announce that he's dating other players the moment they turn 18, so at least he passes that bar.
Yeah, so we're not going to go through the whole list, but I'll show on the screen the official player acceptance list. They didn't remove Nadal yet, but he's not going to be playing. What are your guys' predictions for Monte Carlo?
It's a pass and road final, and it goes on forever because neither of them are allowed to win. So the tournament actually never ends.
All right, Aaron, what's your prediction?
You know, Holger Rune was here in the final last year. He was up 5-2 in the third set. He really should have won it. And I think this year he's going to get revenge. And Holger Rune's finally going to win his second Masters 1000.
Do you guys think Rublev will do well this year again?
No, I think he's going to lose in the quarters to Novak.
Is that how the draw is set up?
Yeah.
Then who do you think Novak loses to?
I think he loses in the semis to Alcaraz.
I'll probably also I'll do a bold take here. I'm gonna say Tommy Paul winning Monte Carlo.
Would he be a big name if he won it?
Yeah, that's a big name.
So yeah, so that's why you put him on the list. This is like, it's a prediction, it's a prophecy. I know that Aaron loves Ronaldo, so he'd love to talk about Madrid.
Until 2009, this was actually an indoor hardcourt event, and it's the only indoor hardcourt event Nadal has ever been able to win. And while it was an indoor event, this was the tournament where David Nalbandian, who loves umpires, especially at Queen's Club, look it up, famously beat all the big three members in the same tournament to win it. And then we had the famous blue clay debacle back in 2012. Basically thought, red clay works perfectly fine, there's no problems with it. Let's fuck with it and make a horrible surface where players are slipping all over the place and getting injured, and it's basically unplayable. And then Federer will somehow win it anyway.
I think initially that clay was fine, but then something happened where they like left it out in the sun too much and it got really dried and like fucked up.
Well, how would they have not left it in the sun? It was on the floor.
There was some kind of thing that happened that caused it to be really bad. Houston dyes their clay. Even though they dye their clay, it still like plays the same as green clay, but it's not colored green.
I think anyone would have heard of Blue Clay if it wasn't for that one YouTube video about it. It got like really viral. And then everyone pretended they were like not casuals and were like, have you guys heard of Blue Clay?
Talking about cult tennis.
Yeah, that guy. Like, he made like the Del Potro video as well. Like, we should make a tennis iceberg. Like, you know that meme? Yeah, like everyone who watches Tennis Cult thinks like they're at the bottom of the iceberg, but they're really like at the top. So I just don't like that guy for some reason.
Oh no, I love it. And unsurprisingly, Nadal has the most titles here. 4-1 was on clay, 1 on indoor. This tournament, when it changed to clay, replaced Hamburg as the Masters 1000 on the clay swing. Any of you guys remember Hamburg?
If you're like the tournament like director, why'd you even bother? Like, why'd you care anymore? Like, you're literally just told you're so shit, we're like demoting you. Like, I don't think an organization can kill itself, but I would kill myself.
And speaking of wanting to kill yourself, Novak must have wanted to after that amazing 2009 semi-final where he had multiple match points against Rafa. It's a great match. Recommend going back and watching it. And it arguably ruined Rafa's entire clay season that year. He went to lose to Fed in the final when he was clearly pretty fatigued, and then lost at Roland Garros for the first time ever.
He was sick, remember? It doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count. He was injured.
Anyway, guys, who do you have winning Madrid this year?
I'll give it to Alcaraz, probably.
3 in a row.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Same. I think it's going to dominate it for the next few years.
Well, fuck both of you, because I'm taking the last man who doesn't shout Vamos after every point to take it that won it. Alexander Zverev, famous Rocky Balboa impersonator. I've got him winning this title.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good for his like style of play. I remember, I think it was last year that like Struff made the final, right?
Yeah.
And he has a big serve, kind of like Zverev. So I guess that high altitude is really good for those kind of guys.
Was it at Madrid where like Alcaraz and Zverev played a final, and like Zverev got completely fucked with the scheduling? He had like 12 hours to recover, while Alcaraz had like 2 days.
Yeah, because he'd played Novak in the semi-final, and then Zverev had played Tsitsipas in the second semi, and he'd got way less time to recover. And then Alcaraz just totally fucked him.
I remember that, and everyone was like, Zverev is washed compared to Alcaraz. So Zverev took that quite personally, right? And he decided to beat Alcaraz at every big tournament they met for like the foreseeable future. So
yes, the classic Alcaraz fan.
Yeah, it's a lesson for people who love recency bias. And on that note, Sinner's going to win the next 8 tournaments in a row. Now it's time for Tony Soprano's favourite tournament in Rome. From 2005 to 2022, the tournament featured either Nadal or Djokovic in the final. Like, they kind of ran out of ideas. It's not very original. Roger Federer, though, has never won the tournament, but Daniil Medvedev has.
You mean Medvedev?
So,
yes, he means Medvedev.
I keep saying Rune, but it's actually Runa, by the way, so don't get at me for Medvedev. Sorry, Medvedev beat Runa in the final last year. I'm sorry. It's essentially Diet Coke Roland Garros. Like, compared to the 2 tournaments that preceded, this one's most accurate in like deciding the winner of Roland Garros.
Especially last year.
Yeah, don't bring it up. That's just cruel. Come on. do you guys have anything to add?
Roger Federer never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
What do you think about Italian food?
Yeah, I think it's really overrated, and it's so cringy how these people gatekeep it. Like, oh, you can't put cream in a carbonara. Shut the fuck up. No one cares.
You guys notice, like, Italian people, right? They can be quite homophobic. Like, if you watch The Sopranos, bro, like, they say a lot of mean shit about gay people. And then these guys kiss each other on the cheek when they see each other. And they have really high-pitched voices and cry about food. That's, like, pretty gay to me. I can't lie.
It's very gay.
No wonder Runa lost.
So you're saying Rune, he didn't win because he didn't like all the gay shit?
Yeah, so they pretended they were rooting for Runa, but they actually were rooting for Medvedev.
Damn.
The worst thing to happen in 2020, which was Diego Schwartzman beating Rafa Nadal on clay at this tournament.
This marked a pivotal moment in tennis history because for the next 2 or 3 years, every time they played each other, they thought, Schwartzman could beat Nadal. At Roland Garros, there was like that Schwartzman could beat Nadal. I don't think he ever did it again. So,
what year was that crazy Rome final where it was Nadal versus Coria?
2004, I think.
Yeah, I tried to watch it and it was way too long to watch, but it was like fucking grueling.
Coria and Rafa and Roger Federer had match point. Who do you think choked it first?
Cameron Norrie.
By the way, it was 2005.
By the way,
Federer.
who's winning here?
Who's winning? I'm going to give it to, hold on, come back to me.
I'm going to give this one to Alcaraz. And I really want him to beat Sinner in the final because I would love Sinner to lose back-to-back finals in his home country. That would just be bellissima.
Interesting. I'll probably give it to, no one hate on me for this. I'm going to give this one to Big Ben Shelton.
This is a meme channel, so.
I'm being
So
serious.
Who's your serious pick?
I'm being serious, Ben Shelton.
Oh, yeah, but your actual pick. Like, joking aside.
All right. Fuck. All right. So Yannick Sinner is going to win his home tournament.
I think I'm going to go with Zverev. Who's, in my opinion, more of an Ivan Drago than a Rocky because he's tall, blonde, extremely handsome, and has a chiseled body. So I'm giving it to Zverev.
And also, he never actually won his big fight. He choked it away at the last seconds. So that's a perfect comparison for Zverev. Looked like he's going to win, then lost it in the final moments. Perfect comp for Zverev.
I saw something on Reddit where people are saying there's like a post back in the day that said, is Zverev, Medvedev, and Tsitsipas going to be the next big three? And then all three of them went on to lose slam finals after being 2 sets up.
Give Medvedev credit. He's done it twice. The other two have only done it once.
He's the only one out of the three that actually won a slam too.
Speaking of Zverev, I think he's probably a top 3 or 4 favourite at the next slam, which is
Roland Garros. Medvedev actually made a final here once. I don't know if you guys knew that. Oh shit. It was actually Andrei Medvedev, Ukrainian guy. Never mind. Not the same guy. Nadal, he won this tournament a couple times.
Yeah, like, what was it, like 2 times, 3 times? He was alright here for a little bit of time.
Yeah, he has a decent record here. I mean, I think Cameron Norrie has a little bit better of a record here, but Nadal's won it a couple times.
Last year he didn't play it, and in 2021 he lost in the quarterfinals or semi-finals it was. So like it isn't really a perfect record. It's a bit overhyped.
Yeah, in 2009 he lost to some guy from Sweden. What was his name? Like Sodov or yeah, something like that.
And then he got the flu and didn't play again. So like it's quite an indictment on Rafa Nadal that he couldn't beat that guy. Apart from next year when he did, but let's not talk about that.
Last year, Djokovic beat our favorite slam finalist, Casper Ruud.
Just a huge underdog victory. Absolutely unexpected. Huge moment for that guy.
I mean, Casper Ruud almost won the first set. And when you're almost winning your first set, right? Like the match is basically over. So like I think that's probably one of the finest comebacks in Djokovic's career.
Yeah, well, if you win the last set, you win the match.
I think that's a bit unfair, to be honest.
Yeah, it should be whoever wins the first set wins the match, but they still play out the rest of the match.
2019 Wimbledon champion Roger Federer. Oh no, he didn't even win the first set. Still loses under that rule.
It should be whoever wins the second set in the US Open final. So that means that Casper Ruud would have won the US Open.
And the world would have ended.
Sadly enough, there's a very high chance he'll be in this year's final again because he's a fucking clay vulture. Although, just today he lost to Pedro Martinez in a clay 250. Can't even win those anymore, so who knows about his Roland Garros run.
Well, that's because Pedro Martinez will be the other finalist. He's the guy that Ruud will lose to in the finals, so fate still works out.
Yeah, big W for Mexico.
He's the only guy who can beat Casper Ruud.
Roland Garros was named after a French fighter pilot from World War I who died in battle. No offense to Dominic Thiem's career, by the way. I didn't even know that shit.
Imagine not knowing a French fighter pilot from World War I.
My dad's from France, and I don't even know that shit.
Do you think Mr. Garros, looking down from heaven, would be happy that Norwegian fraud would be holding a plate with his name on it 2 times in a row?
He'd be fuming.
He's going to come back down if that happens again.
The Olympics are going to be played at Roland Garros this year, so it's going to be like Roland Garros 0.5 because they're not going to be playing best of 5.
It's basically like the women's tournament, but they're just letting the men play because it's going to be best of 3 at Roland Garros.
That's a good point.
There's a joke to be made there.
When Zverev wins it, the joke will be very obvious.
It's the only Grand Slam that does not have Hawkeye line calling, which doesn't make sense. Even though clay shows a mark, I don't think the mark is completely accurate at times because of the way the ball is skidding. I think the camera looking at the line is going to be a lot more accurate, so they need to get that shit rolling.
If you guys remember, before COVID, this tournament was actually like miserable to watch. Didn't have a roof, and like it was practically inevitable there'd be like at least one delayed day a week. So like it makes sense that it doesn't have Hawkeye line calling. It's actually the worst slam by a mile.
Like the 2015 semi-final that was played across 2 days.
They don't have lights either.
No, that's not in Roland Garros' fault. That's just France's fault.
They take all the money that they can invest in this tournament so they can pay for Mbappe's contract so he'll stay at fucking PSG.
No, we need to get the president like sitting courtside crying whenever Gael Monfils plays a match. So beautiful. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, Cameron Norrie has not won this tournament. Thank fucking God.
I think you're tempting fate a little bit.
I think Luca just shuddered.
Yeah, in his sleep. He's sleeping right now. So what's your guys' predictions for Roland Garros?
You know what? I feel weird because I've almost never predicted Djokovic to win Roland Garros before the tournament, let alone predicted him to fucking defend it, because he's only ever defended one clay title. But I just feel like this year he's gonna have another like mediocre clay season like he did last year, but he's gonna find a way to pull it together. And due to just the level of competition, I think we're gonna see like Alcaraz struggle physically. We're gonna see Sinner struggle in clay. And it's gonna pave the way for Novak to win back-to-back titles here and get the quadruple career slam in the bag.
Versus Rude in the final?
Yeah, another final against Rude.
I actually agree. I think that Novak now has a point to prove because of what happened at Wimbledon and Australia. It's going to take him a while to get like into the swing of things in clay, but his North Star this year is the Olympics. And obviously, Roland Garros is played in the exact same fucking court. I think he's going to get his penultimate slam. I think he's nearly done. But I think he's going to summon every like ounce of energy he has and like scrape through here.
Yeah. And especially after his loss to, was it Arnaldi or who was it? Someone at Indian Wells. He like really wants to prove him. Yeah, he really wants to prove himself now.
So do you agree?
Yeah, but for me, I think in their exposing every slam video, I said that Nadal was going to win Roland Garros, so I'm just going to stick with that, even though it probably won't even happen. But I don't want to change my predictions.
If he does win it, he grows his hair back, and we have to close the channel.
Yeah, that's the end of our channel.
Right, I'm saying this right now. If Nadal does actually win Roland Garros, go down to the fucking beach, I'll whip all my clothes off and I'll fucking walk in the ocean, fucking bulk naked, because that's not happening.
All right, well, if it does happen, we gotta get you doing that on video.
That's quite specific. Are you sure you just like don't want to do that anyway?
Well, I don't want to do it, so that's why I'm saying I'll do it if Rafa wins Roland Garros. Cause it's
Yeah,
not
but you
gonna
could have just not brought that up at all, and then you'd not have to do it.
Yeah, but that's how sure I am that he's not winning it. Is that I would do that if he's something
But
that
you'd surely not have to do it if you didn't bring it up.
you got to live life on the edge.
If Nadal wins this year, I'm gonna eat ass.
All right, okay. So if you're both doing this, it's my turn. This year, I'm going to eat ass.
No matter what happens.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Can we talk about the Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah, because tennis at the Olympics has the most convoluted history you could imagine. It was an actual event back in the 1800s. Then for ages it wasn't an event, and it briefly came back as like an exhibition show event. Then it was back as an actual event. And yeah, it's just a load of bullshit. We'll probably do a video on it down the line because it is that convoluted. Being played on clay for the first time since Barcelona back in 1992. And if you comment who won the gold medal, no googling, then you'll win a prize. As I said, Nicolas Massu famously winning the gold here in 2004, and he has 0 Grand Slam quarterfinal appearances. So what a career he had. Obviously, as we discussed, Rocky Balboa / Ivan Drago impersonator Alexander Zverev heroically won the gold 3 years ago in Tokyo, beating our favourite player Krachinov in the final.
Cameron Norrie has won this tournament. He does have a gold medal. Of course, he fucking doesn't. I'm just joking.
I was saying what, like sucking dick or?
and pretending to be British. Actually, no, he doesn't have a gold medal there. Lennox Lewis won that medal.
Easy to mistake, so they're very similar.
Greg Rosicki has the silver as well. I'm not even sure that Cameron Norrie gets a medal here.
Maybe if he got a sex change operation, he'd have a chance.
Fun fact that's completely irrelevant. The LTA actually offered Djokovic the chance to play for Britain if he got more funding. And like the only reason I wish he took it because it's really fucking funny. Like, you know he has like crazy Serb fans, right?
Yeah.
But he still have them if he played for Britain.
Yeah, you can
That
imagine
would
these
be
fucking like bald English dads being like crazy Djokovic fans. In 2016, this is when the tournament stopped awarding ranking points. I don't know why I ever did award ranking points because it makes no sense for a tournament that's played every 4 years to award ranking points. But
Yeah. I mean, winning a gold medal should be more than enough.
you'd think so, wouldn't you?
The Olympic history is like, I think, way cooler to have like a gold medal than winning like a slam. Like you're known as one of the elite athletes in just all sports in general, not just one sport.
Like Nicolas Massu, and some guy from Dunblane, Scotland, won a couple gold medals here. Don't know if you guys remember that.
Jamie Murray.
Yeah, that guy.
No, Jonathan Murray.
Who's Jonathan Murray?
He's like a doubles player. He's English and he's not actually a Murray brother. But obviously his whole career, everyone's just like assumed that he's one of them. Which is pretty shit for your own family.
That's funny.
Who do you think's going to win here?
For some reason, I just have this weird feeling that Sinner's going to win a gold medal for Italy this year. I don't know why.
Interesting. Obviously, Sinner's not like been in his current form last clay season, so we're yet to see if he's good enough in clay or not.
Yeah.
It's quite an interesting story going into the clay season.
Yeah. Who do you guys think's going to win?
I'm not really sure. I think Djokovic will get it, just because he seems to be a bit obsessed with it. So I think I don't think he'll call it quits right after the Olympics, but I think he'll win the Olympics, and that's the last like big thing he ever wins.
Do you think he'll start crying if he's losing?
I think he'll just start crying anyway. He's a bit like Jordan Peterson. He can't really turn off the fucking tears.
I think now it's been revealed that the ATP Tour is scripted, this is the absolute fairy tale story to have Novak win after falling short in 2008, 2012, 2016 and 2021. I think the fairy tale story is there. He's going to win in a third set tiebreak after saving 5 match points. It's going to be something like 28, 26. It's going to be like something out of a movie. He's going to hit a 200 mile per hour forehand jump in. There's going to be confetti and fireworks. It's going to be the most ridiculous. It's going to be like WWE basically.
Is that from Wattpad?
No, that's the other thing I sent you.
Okay, there's one more big question to ask about the Olympics, and that is, how does Casper Ruud do? Because he should like fraudulently make a final here.
Yeah.
I think he makes the semis, but he loses the bronze medal match.
Yeah, I think, I feel like just because it's only best of 3, he could kind of slide his way into there, but I still think he's not going to do as well, especially because it's not going to be at the same time of the year too. I think the weather's going to be a lot different.
So just quickly, who's winning the silver and bronze medals?
I'm going with Sinner, gold, Djokovic, silver, and then Zverev, bronze.
I would actually kill myself. I'm going for Zverev silver and Alcaraz bronze.
I'm going for Zverev silver and Sinner bronze.
And we're all agreed that Świątek is winning the women's medal, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't really care.
Sorry, Alicio.
All right, well, that was a pretty good clay preview for this shitty-ass clay season coming up.
Don't worry, guys. It's only going to take us 2 months. It's like a 2-month-long dentist tooth extraction. But once it's all over, you'll feel happy and there'll be no more pain. We're all in it together, guys.
Yeah, just like High School Musical.
Well, I've been Cam Williams.
Yeah, I'm also Cam Williams.
I'm Cam Williams. And always butter your cake tins before you bake anything in them.
Follow your dreams and fuck off now.
Yo, listen up, here's a story about a tennis player. Thought he had skills, but he's faker than a masquerader. Casper Ruud, step aside, time to meet your maker. About to roast you, no need for a baker. You claim to be a pro, but you're just a pretender. Hitting weak shots, can't handle pressure. I'll serve you up some lines straight to your face. You ain't a champion, you're just a disgrace.